been on this planet. No, I think that's a real struggle.
The situation being?
That I live in a culture which is permeated by dominance and oppression, and that's not only within my culture, but it's around the world.
Experience awaiting everyone that has to do with finding out who and what you really are. And I think when that occurs, if it occurs, you reach nirvana-heaven. And the degree to which you don't reach that place of realization, you're in eternal hell.
Is this the person speaking who's abandoned his origins? What do you want from the rest of your life? Are you afraid of death?
I have seen people killed. And I've seen them killed in the act of self-defense, not by me, by somebody else. It was justified, and you know what? That's showbiz.
Do you have murder and rage in your soul?
In astonishing quantity.
Are you afraid of insanity? Of going insane? What do you want from the rest of your life? Can you envision an end of the universe where there's nothing again?
Never, never.
I think it will change. I don't think it will disappear entirely.
I think it'll go on forever. Are you afraid of death?
One day I woke up in Miami. Well, would you like to make love? Well, the first thing I'd like to do is fuck, not make love.
I feel good making love to men, not screwing men.
At the end, there will be nothing. There will be no atoms, no molecules, no subatomic particles, no thing at all, nothing at the end. Do you live on in some way after death?
Well, I'd like to think so.
Once you die, everything doesn't just go kaflooey. You know, I think that there is some order to consciousness. What do you want from the rest of your life? Infringing on people's rights.
They laugh at you, or they jump out of cars, they rob you. Somebody bump a giggle at you.
That's a violation of your civil rights.
That's what the world is full of. That's what it's based on.
That's what this economy is based on. I do not. Can you see the major?
Government and laughing at people.
Listen, somewhere they gotta hang them.
I would take my bill.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Hi, everybody. I've got a co-host. I think this tiny screen that I'm trying to monitor things on. All right. Yeah. Well, this is the major, and I don't know. We used to do live streams before. Some of you will know the major. You may think he looks familiar. He's the bishop. he still is the bishop, still is a bishop in the Universal Unitarian Love Church. But he's got a commission now, of course, because while we're not officially at war with Ukraine, naturally the bishop was full on board with the Ukraine cause right from the start, as you know. Nothing appalls the bishop more than injustice. When he saw what that bastard, bishop, that bastard Putin did in Ukraine. Well, he went out, he got a commission the next day. It was pretty astounding, actually. So now it's the major, and, we'll talk. Well, he's not saying anything right now, but we'll talk eventually about his mission, his goals for the new military. He's got some great ideas, of course. Welcome, sir. Thank you for your service. All right, but this is not about you just yet. Anyway, we needed, a co-host, another presence here. Hey, Evie. Well, hello there. Thank you very much for coming. I don't have anything ready. Yesterday I committed to this because I saw just what was happening, what I'd been ignoring, just what was happening in Oregon State House. Oh yeah, what's the date? It's May 18th, 2023. I'm in Portland, Oregon. I'm Dennis. Again, that's the major. So I finally started paying attention to what exactly is happening in the Oregon legislature, where Republicans are boycotting. They're refusing to come to work. About 10 of them, I think, are refusing to go to work because if they don't show up, the legislature won't have a quorum and can't vote in any bills. And they have the votes, of course, this being basically a one-party state. Democrats dominate. They have the trifecta. They have the governor's office, the legislature, and I guess both houses. Anyway, they can pass whatever they want, but they need at least 3/4 of the legislature to show up. Somebody's got to show up to be the losers and get voted down. And so like about 10 of these Republicans are saying, no, we're just not going to go to work, and you're not going to be able to pass these bills. And the most egregious one is the health care bill. It's so insane. I'm not prepared. I just started reading it, really. But it's pretty nuts. It's the one, and if you've heard of it at all at the national level, you've heard of it as this minor consent bill. It's a real aggressive bill, I guess, in response to Roe v. Wade being overturned. An aggressive bill around contraception and abortion, and about how they can't be criminalized. They're trying to write that into the Constitution, that you can't ever criminalize them, forever, ever. It's kind of part of the thing. And, of course, access. They're always looking to get more access to morning after pill, and whatever. I mean, just, if they're not in a dispenser in every dorm room, access is fucking in crisis, right? There's that. But then there's also the age of consent thing, which is everybody 15 or over, doesn't need parents' consent to anything in the reproductive realm, in the Orwellian phrase, reproductive care, reproductive health. Here, it's always contraception to include abortion, of course. It's just so fucking crazy. And I'm reading this bill, and it's like diving into the pit of hell. That it's so obsessed with this idea of women not getting pregnant, But anyway, the most the craziest part of it, of course, is the 15-year-olds will be able to consent to gender affirming care, which will include the full surgical possibility, bomb care and everything else, which is You can get it funded by the state at this point. And of course, as the bill's written, it sounds like you may not notify the parents of the minors. Presumably, if the minor doesn't want it to happen, you must establish secrecy with the child against the parents. It's pretty insane. But the grimmest part of it, where was this? The grimmest part of it is the language around sterilization. Because apparently, this is the issue. This is the issue around a 15-year-old consenting to bottom surgery. They're consenting to sterilization. And that's, I guess, still required by law that's the consent you obtain. It's so fucked up because you got to drive into this yourself. The news articles and your search engines, and nobody's doing analysis of this crap. Nobody's going and reading these bills, and I'm just getting a draft here, which I don't even know if I can trust. But nobody in the regular news is really digging down into it. The whole story with the regular news right now, they're not even looking at the bills, There's, at the national level, Fox somewhere, there's some outrage stories about, did you hear 15-year-olds can consent to this in Oregon? It's absolutely true, but that's all you hear. And here in actual Oregon, they don't even dig into that. They're not even talking about that. The story right now is entirely that these 10 Republicans who are holding out, Horatius at the bridge style holdout to prevent these crazy laws going into effect. The whole story is, they're going to lose their jobs. They can't run for re-election because we just passed this bill that just like a year ago. It's a weird bill. Where was it coming from? I think it was anticipating this. And the bill, because the Republicans have pulled this before, it's all they have, right? They don't have the numbers to vote anything in. And they passed a bill about a year ago that anybody who misses more than 10 days at the legislature can't run for re-election. It's a weird bill, and it's very questionable if they can do it. It'll be challenged legally. And 2 or 3 of these Republicans, of course, have gone over their 10 days, supposedly, that you can't run for re-election again. This fucked up, bullshit-ass state of ours, right? So anyway, that's all they're covering, and they're not going into the bill. If you go into it, like I said, it's going into the pit of hell. It's getting down and dirty. Where's that part about sterilization? Here it is, yeah. All right, let's back up here. All right. In obtaining informed consent for sterilization, a physician, physician assistant, or nurse practitioner must offer to answer any questions the individual to be sterilized may have concerning the proposed procedure, and must provide orally all of the following information or advice. Yeah. A natural parent or a legal guardian or conservator of a minor child or protected person appointed under ORS Chapter 125 may not give substitute consent for sterilization. Okay, I think that's good. Whenever any physician assistant, or nurse practitioner has reason to believe an individual 15 years of age or older is unable to give informed consent, no sterilization shall be performed until it is determined by a circuit court that the individual involved is able to and has given informed consent. Section 8 is what I'm looking for. They have a problem, I believe, with the term reproductive health care when it comes to sterilization. A physician assistant licensed under Oregon ORS, a 677, nurse practitioner, yada, yada, yada. Pharmacist licensed under ORS, or naturopathic physician licensed under ORS may provide birth control, reproductive health care information and services to any person without regard to the age of the person. So, yeah, while we were talking about surgery, top and bottom surgery for 15-year-olds, they're also saying, yeah, abortion, I mean, that's anybody. 12-year-old. Of course, I think a 12-year-old might have to have one. Oh, shit. Except when the minor is obtaining contact lenses for the first time. Yeah, it doesn't include contact lenses, though. Part of this law seems to be about trying to cleave out a little area for so-called reproductive care and so-called gender-affirming care. Right, and they don't want to say, no, we can't give consent for just anything, like getting contacts and tattoos. We just want to do it here with this monumental stuff. I guess we're not actually broadcasting because no one's here. All right. Anyway, we'll try again tomorrow. And, yeah, we'll get down into this for real tomorrow, I guess. Or not. But we are going to stream regularly. You're not going to show up regularly, but we will stream. The Major bids you adieu. I bid you adieu. Do. Thank you, Mage. Screw these guys. It's nice out. We're going to go outside, me and you. We're going to take in some nature. We're going to take in a little bit of good stuff. Because, Major, this is the day.
If you'd want